With all of the excitement that comes with a Disney World vacation, your brain may switch into Disney mode and cause you to forget some common sense things. But to keep this from happening to you, I'm going to share with you some common sense things that I tend to see Disney park guests have slip their minds when they're at Disney World, starting with this crazy first item. All right, we had to hop back to the car for this first crazy thing you won't want to forget when coming to Disney World, and that is turning off your car. Now that sounds very silly and very self-explanatory, but when you are coming to Disney World and you're getting parked here, there might be a lot going on. You might have to get the stroller out, all of your supplies and kids and everything ready for the day at Disney, that you might be too excited and too distracted to even remember turning off your car. Especially if you're like my car, that it doesn't have a key that goes in the actual ignition. It's actually a push to start car. It can be super easy to forget to just turn it off. I am in a couple of Disney Facebook groups, and I swear it's about once a month I see a post that says somebody's car is running in the parking lot and they're trying to figure out whose car it is so that way they can let them know that their car is running and to turn it off. So just take a mental note whenever you get to Disney World. If you're driving here, make sure the car is turned off. You have all of your items that you're wanting to go to the park with, and then you can go on your way. After getting parked here, the second thing you won't want to forget is where you parked. Disney World has huge parking lots, and it's very easy once you're getting into the parks to completely forget to look about where you are parked at. You may physically look at the signs to see where you are actually parked at, but trust me, by the end of the day, it will completely slip your mind and you will forget where you're parked. Some of the parking lots actually have multiple parking lots, and so you want to make sure that you're going to the right parking lot so that way at the end of the night you don't have to have a little race or chase to figure out where you're parked at. What I like to do is I like to take a picture of where I am parked at and what row. But another really neat thing is, at least on the Apple Maps, what I use a lot is it actually pins where my car is parked at. So then I can just look at the end of the evening and see where my car is pinned at and know where to go from there. So those are two tips for you. Either take a picture of where you're parked at or just pin it on your map to find later on in the evening. The third thing is to not forget items at your hotel. I see a lot of people forget things at their hotel, and it takes a little bit to use Disney transportation to get to and from the parks from your hotel. So the last thing you'd want to see is to have your wallet missing, or an umbrella, or some other essential items that you're hoping to have at the Disney parks. So what I like to do is the night before I'm going to the parks, I like to have everything set out so that way I know I have it and then I don't forget anything. So get yourself all organized, figure out what you need for the day, have it all set out so that way you're ready to go in the morning. The fourth thing is not wearing sunscreen. You see how sunny it is here in Florida. You're going to do a lot of walking and running around, and you're going to be outside when you're here in Florida. So I highly recommend remember sunscreen. Bring some sunscreen with you to the parks or to your hotel so that way you don't have to purchase it whenever you're at Disney World. Make sure you wear sunscreen. There is some sunscreen that you can purchase in the parks or at your resort, but to avoid paying that Disney tax, I highly recommend bringing your own. I have heard that they do have sunscreen at First Aid as well, so if worst comes to worst, you don't have any whenever you're at the parks, go ahead and check out First Aid and see if they have some that you could use. And the last item is not wearing comfortable shoes. As I mentioned, you're going to do so much walking when you're here at Disney World. They are huge parks, and so you're going to want to make sure that you're wearing very comfortable shoes whenever you're here. What I recommend as far as shoes go, I recommend wearing shoes that you know are comfortable and that you have worn before and that are already broken in. This is not the time to wear some cute new shoes you have purchased. Definitely wear shoes that you know are comfortable and that you have worn before. That's another thing. Try to find shoes that are water friendly or water resistant. It rains a lot here in Florida as well, and the last thing you would want is to have your shoes get wet whenever you are here at Disney World and have to spend the day in wet shoes. The last thing I have to say when it comes to packing shoes for Disney World is make sure that you are bringing multiple pairs of shoes. The last thing you would want is to only have one pair of shoes at Disney World. Find out that they aren't very comfortable or have them get wet the first day of your trip. So bring up multiple pairs of shoes so that way they can either dry out or you have a backup that you can fall back on that are more comfortable. So those are some things you absolutely won't want to forget when visiting Disney World. But if you're looking for more things to know before visiting Disney World, you can check out this video here as well as some other Disney tips and tricks videos that I have here on the channel. Enjoy your trip to Disney World. Don't forget these things when you're there, and we'll see you in the next video. See you guys.